Welcome students of Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College. Human Health and Disease Chapter 10 Part 9. We are studying about various types of common diseases. In my last lectures, I have explained you about n number of diseases. So today, let's continue with one more type of common disease. Students, so today we will be studying about AIDS. AIDS stands for Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. HIV is the name of the virus and AIDS is the name of the disease. So let us study in detail about AIDS. AIDS. AIDS stands for Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. It is a usually fatal illness caused by a retrovirus, that is single-stranded RNA, which is known as the human immunodeficiency virus, HIV. So HIV, that is human immunodeficiency virus, is the name of the virus. In this HIV, it causes the disease AIDS, that is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, which is caused due to retrovirus, which is a single stranded RNA, that is the genetic material of the virus, which weakens the body immune system. So HIV virus, what it is doing, it will weaken the body's immune system, leaving the victim vulnerable to life-threatening opportunistic infections, neurological disorders, and unusual malignancies. As we all know, for our body to work properly, immunity is very important. And if your body it doesn't has a good immunity, you often fall sick. So this HIV virus, what it does, it weakens the immune system. So when your immune system it is suppressed, you are vulnerable to more fatal diseases and you die of some other disease because of your immune system it's been weak. AIDS can be called a modern pandemic. It is because AIDS, it is the disease which is caused worldwide and it is no cure. There is no treatment for AIDS. So it is a modern pandemic. It is affecting both industrialized and developing countries. AIDS was first noticed in USA in 1981. In India, first confirmed case of AIDS was in April 1986 from Tamil Nadu. So it was first noticed in the year 1981 in USA, and in India it was noticed in 1986 in Tamil Nadu. Structure of HIV. HIV is 100 to 140 nanometer in diameter. So the diameter of the virus is 100 to 140 nanometer. It is spherical in shape. The virus particle shows centrally located to ssRNA. SS stands for single stranded. So the virus particle, it shows centrally located two single stranded RNA molecules along with reverse transcriptase enzyme. It is covered by two layers of proteins. The outer layer of matrix protein P17, while the inner layer is a capsid protein P24. So this virus, HIV virus, it consists of two proteins. The outer layer, it consists of protein P17 and the inner layer is a capsid protein which is P24. Now over the matrix protein layers, there is an additional layer of lipids. So above the layer of the protein, there is a layer of a lipid. So impregnated with glycoprotein, that is GP120 and GP41. The virus, it replicates in actively dividing T4 lymphocytes and can remain in a latent state or stage in the lymphoid cells. So this virus, they actually attack the lymphocytes. Now lymphocytes, these are the main part of the human immune system. The WBCs, they contain lymphocytes which actually help in the defense mechanism of the body and they kill the antigens which is coming inside the body. But here HIV, the virus, what it is doing, it is affecting the lymphocyte cell. Now here HIV is having the capacity to remain in the lymphocytes and in a latent stage, that is in the active stage. So the virus has unique ability to destroy the T4 lymphocytes. So virus, what it does, it stays over there, it just matures, divides, and it destroys the T4 lymphocytes. Now if this T4 lymphocytes they are being destroyed, it means the immunity, the immune system of the body is totally, it is being suppressed, it is being weak. HIV is found in greatest concentration in blood, semen, and cerebrospinal fluid, that is CSF. So HIV, it is found in greatest concentration in blood. So that's why in every blood test, of the first test which is done is of HIV. Semen, yeah, obviously semen, because it is one of the STDs, that is sexually transmitted disease. So obviously the virus is found in the semen and cerebrospinal fluid. It is also found in tears, milk, urine, saliva, cervical and vaginal secretions, but to a lesser extent as compared to blood, semen and CSF. So here's the diagrammatic presentation of HIV virus. The virus genetic material is RNA, single-stranded ssRNA. RNA stands for ribose nucleic acid. So the S-shaped structure which you can see in the center of the virus, that is the genetic material of the RNA. Near this single-stranded RNA, you can see this green and white circular structures. They are the reverse transcriptase enzymes. Outer, you can see the blue color covering, that is the capsid proteins. Inner capsid proteins, and the outer one, which is in the orange color, if you can see, they are the outer proteins. So the blue one is the inner capsid protein and the orange one is the outer proteins, and above the protein is a glycoprotein layer. Inside is the protein layer, outside is the glycoprotein layer, and you can see the GP glycoprotein 120 and GP41 receptors on the outer layer of the virus. And between the there's a lipid coat between the two layers of glycoproteins, the lipid coat, and above if you can see the GP41 receptor and the GP120, those ones with the red insertion, if you can see, they are the GP41, and the knob, if you can see, that is the GP120 receptor. Transmission of the HIV virus. So what are the criteria, what are the different ways by which this virus it gets transmitted? So number one is unsafe sexual contact. As we have studied, this HIV virus is found in large proportion in the semen. So if unsafe sexual contact, it can result in the infection with the HIV virus. So it consists including the oral, vaginal and anal sex. Next is blood. Obviously in the blood the virus is present in a large proportion. So via blood transfusions or needle sharing. If the needle or the syringe we are sharing from one patient to another, we are not changing it, there may be high chances of getting this virus. Next is from mother to child, that is transplacental. So a pregnant woman can transmit the virus to her fetus through their shared blood circulation, or a nursing mother can transmit to her baby from her breast milk. Other methods of spreading of the virus are rare and include accidental needle injury, artificial insemination with infected donated semen, and transplantation with infected organs. That's why before any medical examination, medical transplantation, or any medical process, HIV test is mandatory for blood and semen samples. On very important note, it is compulsory to have HIV analysis on semen and blood samples. AIDS virus has been found in urine, tears, saliva, breast milk and vaginal secretions, but it seems not to be transmitted by these fluids unless it gets into injuries. So these are the ways by which the HIV virus, it transmits from one body, from an infected person to a healthy person, and the chain it continues. Clinical manifestations, that is the symptoms. So what are the symptoms which the person shows when he or she is coming in contact with the HIV virus? So initial infection with the virus and formation of antibodies, usually 2 to 8 weeks after the initial infection. So initial infection is detected in 2 to 8 weeks. So that is almost 2 months. Next is a symptomatic carrier state in which no signs of disease are seen. Incubation period ranges from 6 months to 10 years. So there may be chances the person is carrying the virus but he is unaware of the virus, because incubation period it ranges from 6 months to 10 years. Next is AIDS related complex, that is ARC, with one or more of the following clinical signs: recurrent fever for longer than 1 month, fatigue, unexplained diarrhea, night sweats, shortness of breath, loss of more than 10% of body weight. So if any person observes such kind of symptoms, that is fever longer than a month, fatigue, unexplained diarrhea, night sweats, shortness of breath, loss of more than 10% of the body weight, it shows AIDS related complexes. AIDS is the end stage of HIV infection. It is characterized by the life-threatening opportunistic infections like pneumonia, tuberculosis, Kaposi sarcoma, etc. Now, as we all know, in AIDS, what happens? The immune system of the body is totally suppressed or it is weakened. So the diseases, the fatal diseases like pneumonia, tuberculosis, it attacks the person's body and generally it leads to the death of the person. Preventive measures. AIDS has no cure. Hence, prevention is the best choice. So the following steps helps in preventing the dreadful disease. People, particularly those in high risk group, should be educated about HIV transmission. So general awareness regarding the transmission and the ways of transmission. Disposable needles and syringes should be used and disposed of properly and immediately. So there should be no sharing of syringes and it should be disposed after the use. Sexual habits should be changed immediately. High risk group should refrain from donating blood. Preventive measures which we should follow: toothbrushes, razors, other articles which we use on a personal level, it should not be shared because it can become contaminated with the blood with the other infected person. So we should avoid sharing of any sort of personal items. Before receiving blood, ensure that it has been screened for not containing HIV infection. Routine screening must be done for blood donors, organ donors, donors of semen and growth hormone, and also the pregnant ladies. The pregnant females, they should undergo screening for HIV virus as they have high risk of transferring the HIV virus to the fetus. Blood donors, organ donors, and donors of semen and growth hormone, they should undergo routine screening for HIV, and at personal level we should follow all these steps so that we are away from this HIV virus. Laboratory diagnosis. At first, a test is used to detect the HIV antibodies, while a second confirmatory test is used to weed out any false positive result. So the first test is done as ELISA test. ELISA stands for enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. The confirmatory test, usually a Western blot, is a highly specific test. It is based on detecting the specific antibody to viral core protein and envelope glycoprotein. So the glycoprotein and the proteins which we have studied in the structure of the virus, if they are detected, it means there is a confirmation of the HIV virus in the blood. So the first test is ELISA and the confirmatory test, that is CT test, is the Western blot. Although AIDS has no cure, certain medicines called as antiretroviral drugs can help in reducing the viral load and prolong the life of HIV patient. So here we're using the drugs so that we can enhance, we can add years to the life of the HIV patient. So the example of this drugs used in antiretroviral therapy, that is ARTR, number one TDF, tenofovir, EFV, efavirenz, and lamidine, that is 3TC. So these drugs are used in the treatment of AIDS to prolong the life of the HIV patient. So if we are talking about treatment of all the common types of disease, the advancements made in biological sciences have helped us to deal effectively with many infectious diseases. The use of vaccines and immunization programs have enabled us to eradicate completely the dreadful diseases like smallpox. A large number of other infectious diseases like polio, diphtheria, pneumonia, and tetanus have been controlled to a large extent by the use of vaccines. Biotechnology is on the verge of making available newer and safer vaccines. Discovery of antibiotics and various drugs has also enabled us to treat effectively infectious disease like tuberculosis. So the field of biotechnology have resulted in immense advantages to treat various common diseases. The process of immunization, vaccination, and antibiotics production and drugs production have led us to fight against all the types of dreadful diseases. So, students, I hope you all must have understood the concept of AIDS, its transmission, its diagnosis, its preventive measures, and treatment. I want you all to just draw the structure of HIV because that is the most frequently asked question in the boards. So, you will be drawing the diagram of HIV and you will be doing the assignment.